Hey, second graders! Happy Tuesday! I hope you are doing well. I hope you have gotten some work done in Seesaw today. I have loved getting the chance to listen to you guys talk about cardinal directions in your assignment today, telling me which direction that the fire truck was going. So it's always so fun to get a chance to hear your voices, and it's been awesome. So keep it up. You guys are doing a great job. Before we move on to Penelope Peabody and before we move on to the one and only Bob, which I'm really excited to read today, I just wanted to remind you guys that tomorrow is Wednesday. So Wednesday and Thursday, either one of those days from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., you can go to Sacagawea Elementary School and get your school supplies from your desk. Now, you won't be allowed in the building, and our building looks very different than when we left. They've taken off all the siding, so it's just like a lot of bare wood, and it's actually not very safe to go into the school right now because there's like wires hanging down. You don't want to go in there anyway. But the good news is when we go back to school in fall, it'll all be done. It'll be beautiful. We'll be ready to start a new year. But tomorrow or Thursday, you can go to school and you'll just drive up to it, and a teacher or a staff member will have a radio and they'll tell somebody, Mrs. Ho's here, or whoever you are, and that person will go grab the bag from the classroom and bring it out to you, socially distanced and safe, of course. And it'll have all your supplies from your desk in it, including like the math books that we had left off, our HD Word books. Those would be fantastic things for you guys to be working on starting now or during the summer. So if you are able to go to school tomorrow or Thursday, make sure you do that. I will be there tomorrow, Wednesday, from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So if you go during that time period, if you're able to, maybe I'll get a chance to see you, which would be super exciting. Also, with that being said, I probably won't have a time to do a video tomorrow. We'll see, since I'll be at school. But hopefully I'll get a chance to do a video tomorrow. If not, then I'll just obviously do one the next day. But just remind your families, Wednesday and Thursday, that's the day for you to go get your supplies from Sacagawea. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see you tomorrow if you plan on going then. All right, with all that being said, I gave you a new clue on Friday for Penelope Peabody. This was the clue that I gave you. I'm just south of the Canadian border, but I'm not sure what state I'm in right now. I met a young man in the coffee shop who told me I'm in the only state named after a U.S. president. I thought that was interesting, but I still don't know which state I'm in. I drove over the Columbia River, the Snake River, and the Yakima River while trying to find my way around. I'm lost. What state am I in? All right, well, since you guys know cardinal direction now, which is north, south, east, and west, it might help you. It says I'm just south of the Canadian border, so south is down. And Canada is a country above the United States. So before I get into that, I want to make sure I tell you who got the correct answer. Adelaide, Raven, Lucas, Bennett, Weston, and my mom. I think that's everybody. And then maybe I may have confused. I wrote down that the person that got it right was Washington. Can you see that? It says the name of the state, Washington, and then it has everyone's name, and I think I messed up and put the state Washington instead of somebody's name. Whoops. So if I forgot you, let me know. Sorry. All right, but that's correct. She is in our home state, Washington. So here is the map of the United States, and this right up here is Canada. So here's my compass rose. You can see it, and you've learned all about compass roses this week. So south is down. So if this is Canada, I have to go down. So all of these states, actually the whole United States is considered south of Canada, but it says south of the Canadian border, and the border is where it touches the United States. So any of these could be where she's at, but they talk about it's the only state named after a U.S. president. Isn't that interesting? Our state is named after a president. Washington State is named after George Washington. It's the only state in the United States that is like that. So that's kind of cool. So you can see right here, this is Washington, this is where we live, and I knew I saw Penelope last week. I was at the grocery store, I was leaving, and I saw a red convertible, just like this one, go by. And I was pretty sure it was her. All right, so she was in Washington, and that was our 24th clue. So our next clue is 25, which means after we mark this next state off, we have been through half of the states, because there's 50 states in the United States. So half of 50 is 25. All right, so let's read the next clue and see if we can figure out where she is. It's pretty cool that she was in our home state. Let's see where she's off to next. All right, here's clue number 25. I'm not sure where I am, but this is a very pretty state. I stopped in a jewelry store and bought a sapphire necklace. A sapphire is a type of jewel a type of jewel, I would say. The jeweler told me that nearly every known gemstone can be found in this state. Wow. I guess that's why it's nicknamed the Gem State. Not gym like gymnasium, like where you do PE. That would be GYM, but she's talking about the Gem State, like GEM, which is like a pretty necklace where you would have like a pretty rock or a stone in it. That's called a gem. Okay. I visited the football field at Boise State University. Can you believe that the turf wasn't green? It was bright blue. I am a pretty big football fan, but I've never seen a blue football field. I'm having a great time here, but I'm not exactly sure what state I'm in. Can you tell me which state I'm in? All right, this is a great clue. There's a lot of things you could look up. One thing that you could look up is the Gem State, GEM. Another clue you could look up is where Boise State University is. That's another really good clue. And this state is actually, Boise State University is very famous for their blue turf. So those are a few things you can look up while you're looking up which state she's in. If you think you know where she's in, let me know by Friday so that I can announce your name. And I promise I won't write the state on my list like I did here. I don't know what I was thinking. Some days. All right, so let's move on to our one and only Bob. This story has been getting intense. There was a tornado, and now Bob is looking for different animals, and there is a baby gorilla who is in trouble. And the elephants are trying to save this gorilla. So let's find out what happens. This chapter is called Team Elephant. Hurry, Ruby cries. The elephants bend lower, moving like a giant elephant shovel. Where is she? Masika asks. Lower, says Akela. Lower, sisters. There, Ruby yells. No, wait, there. Up, Akela commands, and the interlocked trunks rise from the muddy water to reveal a tiny, trembling baby gorilla sitting in their makeshift sling. Kudzu, says Akela. Stay calm, baby. We're going to toss you to safety, okay? Kudzu gives a little nod. On my count, says Akela. Start swinging. 1, 2, 3. Up and over go the trunks, and up and over goes Kudzu. She lands with a little plop on the gorilla side of the moat, right next to Mikasa's rear legs. Good work, everyone, says Akela, and good thinking, Ruby. Thanks, elephant, says Kudzu, wiping mud from her eyes. That was fun. Can we do it again? Akela takes a deep breath. Maybe later, sweetheart. Quickly, I make my way back over to the moat. Kudzu, I say, follow me. Let's go find your 8 peeps. Can I go with Bob? Ruby asks Akela. Akela touches Ruby's back with her trunk. I'd much rather you stay here, dear. And it's may I. But Uncle Ivan, Ruby pleads. I'll keep an eye on her, I tell Akela. I'm going, Ruby says in her most determined voice. Maybe I can help. I helped just now. Akela hesitates, but finally gives a slow nod. Probably she figures there's no arguing with Ruby. She's right on that one. Ruby crosses the moat and joins Kudzu and me. Be careful, Akello warns. There is more of this storm coming. I got her, Akello, I say. You'd better have her, she warns. I think I flew, Bob, says Kudzu as we weave our way through the wasteland of the gorilla world. Yeah, me too, I say. It's that kind of day. Here's the picture right now of Gorilla World entrance, and it's just covered with a big tree. This one is called What's Out There. A handful of humans, firefighters and police mostly, have begun to roam the grounds checking out the damage. We pass a park employee with a weapon slung over his shoulder and a net in one hand. Trank gun, he tells a passing police officer. We don't know what's out there. So a trank gun is, trank is short for tranquilizer, and tranquilizer is like a dart that you would hit at an animal and it makes them fall asleep. And then once they move them back to where they need to be, then the animal will wake up again. So that's what a tranquilizer gun is. She nods. How fast do they work? On something like a big cat? He shakes his head. Not fast enough. I look over at Ruby. Stay close, kid. As we near the gorilla villa, what's left of it anyway, a screech hits my ears that makes the wailing police sirens sound like mewling kittens. It's Kenyani. She's frantically knuckle-running back and forth near the collapsed gorilla villa. Chunks of cement, shredded wooden beams, and bent metal lie everywhere. A cluster of gorilla females and juveniles huddle not far from some rescue workers. There's Mama! Kudzu cries, dashing towards a gorilla named Jody. I'm so horrified by the destruction that I've almost forgotten my muddy little charge. I really shouldn't be trusted as an ape-sitter. Kudzu darts over to her mother's waiting embrace. Jody nuzzles her and strokes her and says soothing motherly gorilla things. Thank you, Jody mouths to me. Don't thank me, I say, looking over at Ruby. Thank this little gal. She figured out how to save Kudzu. Thank you. Ruby, isn't it? Ivan's friend? Ruby gives a shy nod. Well, we all helped. I provided moral support, I added. I flew, Mama, said Kudzu. Of course you did, dear, said Jody. Kenyani's fresh wails focus my mind. I gotta go, I say. Ruby, you should stay here. I'm going for a no-nonsense voice, the one Julia uses on me when she calls me Robert. Let me see what's what. I'll be right back. No way, Uncle Bob, Ruby replies just as firmly. I give up. But I'm afraid of what she might see, of what we both might see. Any sign of Ivan? I ask Jody. She shakes her head, a grim look clouding her eyes. With Ruby by my side, we approach the pile of wreckage that used to be the gorilla villa. At the same moment, Ruby and I gasp. There's Ivan's hand, barely peeking through the rubble. Uh-oh. The next chapter is called Not Moving, and we'll read that tomorrow. Oh, this is stressful. So it sounds like they did find Ivan, but it sounds like he's buried in some debris. So we'll find out what happens tomorrow. Hopefully Ivan is okay and not hurt too bad. So, guys, I will see you back here tomorrow. Hopefully, if I don't have time to make the video because I'll be at school, I will make sure to post one the next day. All right, guys, I will see you later. Bye. Have a good night.